So I was just about to do a little bit of some repair work, looking at all these tools here. Rev Joy-anne quickly took possession of them. So she's going to introduce us to some tools here and the things that we can need to respond to the heat being on. So let's just welcome Rev Joy-anne as we bring this topic, the heat is on, to a wonderful close.
Yes. All right. Well, I wanted to let you know that I have a new toy and that I am now unhooked so I can go anywhere in the room that I want. I can come down here and I get to be with you and play and all kinds of fun things. So watch out. The heat is on. Love it. All right, so before I launch into my delightful and fun expression today, and I have a handout, a gift for each of you today. It's called the Sacred Seven. I would like to first honor and thank our music team because they're going on a little holiday. They're going to take a month off, the whole team, well, half the team. The others are going to, be here and there, but our main whole band is not going to be playing until the end of next month. So, I just think it's important as a community that we acknowledge them, we thank them. Heartbeat has been in existence for 3 years. And they have done this, they're not paid, they're volunteers, and so I would like all of us together, if we could deeply and powerfully love them and thank them. And I have some flowers that I would like to present. So I would like to call up here on stage all of our music team so we can thank them as they go forward into this kind of time off for them. So Anna, will you please? And so in honor of him and Colleen, who is his partner, or when I came here it was so sweet because they're a couple. It's like Dr. Michael and Ricky Byers, they're this couple. So in honor of both of you, I just want to thank you. I know it's a little bit heavy. He's getting shorter. And a card, and I just want to so thank both of you for all of your time, for all of your love, for all of your energy every week. Mostly, well, they would take a week off about once a month because of your work. But let's just all give them some love. I also wanted to invite up, we have 2 other people who join them every week also when they're here. So I'd like to call up the Archangel Raphael, known as Rael. Would you please come up here? And his partner, who is Pam, would you please come up as well? And we have just a little right here. We've got a little something for each of you as well. Yeah, just looks both down there. There. And so they also, he plays the wings, he plays the drums, and she is a backup singer. So again, please join me in thanking Rael. Enjoy this time off that both of you will have for a whole month and just allow yourself to deep rest. I know you're still doing it. Anyway, thank you. Thank you, Paul. We love you. And we appreciate you. All right, so the tools needed. So the tools needed if you're going to build yourself a home. These are the tools needed. You need hammers, saws, pliers, levels, drills, nail finishers, wrenches, as well as the know-how to use those tools. How many of you have actually built your own house with your own hands? None of you. We have no carpenters. Where's Jesus? I know. He was a carpenter. Okay, so interesting, isn't it? So I brought my very own, just to show you, that ministers have a toolkit. This is how big it is. I have precisely one hammer. I have a screwdriver, which everyone needs. And then, of course, in my kit, I have some mala beads for meditation time. So these are literally, this is all the tools that I have. Ladies?
Yes.
Do you have more than this? You do?
Multi-headed screwdriver.
Pliers. Well, you know, I think I have some in here. Okay, we have some pliers. All right, so I have everything I need, including one of these that you can play with. You know, some toys. All right. So there you go. And likewise, just like we need tools to build a foundation and build a home, we also have spiritual tools for building a higher, greater, and bigger consciousness. And so today I will be giving you these 7 tools. Now, I will say that probably you've heard of these 7 tools. I have a gift for you, and I'm going to ask you to place this gift on your refrigerator. So every time you go in the fridge to get a snack or a drink of water, you are reminded of these 7 tools. Now, there are many, many, many more than 7. In fact, I could talk for a very long time, probably hours and hours, about all the tools that exist on planet Earth. And I'm not going to do that because I wouldn't want to rival the longest sermon ever written. Who wants to guess how long the longest sermon ever written was? How long do you think that was? Anyone want to guess? 20 hours. Okay, what else?
5 minutes.
5 minutes. That's what you want. You wish it was 5 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to share with you, this is so funny. This is a fact. It was the longest sermon ever written, and it was written in West Richmond, Washington in 1955. It was 48 hours. You were right. 48 hours and 18 minutes, and when the minister got done, there were still 8 people sitting there. 8 people sitting there. So not to worry, I will not do that to you. But can you imagine sitting there? So what I said is no more caffeine for that minister. Right? No more caffeine for that minister. And I won't do that to you or to me today. But instead, I will share with you what I feel are these powerful, amazing tools that exist. And then when we apply these tools to our lives, we literally create our life. We create our dreams. We manifest the great divine good that we are called into this life to express. And I call that a transformed life, a life that is truly lived from this part of your body. Do you know the most important part of your body? You know, we can all live without a kidney, without a lung, without a toe, but none of us can live without our heart. And it's so important. So I'm going to ask you to join me. I've done this once before. Put your hands together. And I want you to imagine that you are opening up your heart chakra, that beautiful center of the divine that is right inside of you. Just very slowly, just like this, just like I'm doing. Just imagine that you are opening up your heart to the greater yet to be. The most expanded, beautiful, the most divine, the most magnificent you that is yet to be, that is here now. Perfect. And all of these tools that I share today are tools that you've heard about, every one of them. But just like these tools, we don't usually use them all at once. You wouldn't have enough hands to use all the tools at once. But it is important to know what they are and to apply them when things come up in your life. And what I know to be true, that it is the regular, ongoing practice of using these tools that really transforms our lives. It's a regular practice, and that's very important piece for all of us. See, I like it, Dreamer, thank you. The divine is tapping on the things to agree. I love it. So, I would like to invite you to make a renewed commitment as I share these tools. I'm going to share each one briefly, and see if you can apply this to your life. Because if you have no spiritual practice, if you say, well, whatever, you get up in the morning and you say, well, I'm just going to take whatever, what will you get? You will get whatever. Do you want what the world is showing you right now? Do you want a big dish of that? Or do you want to be the creator of your, we are all the creator, whether we know it or not, of our own experience. We create our own reality. So these tools are so powerful. Number one, I'm sure you've heard of this one. Sacred tool number one is called meditation. A practice sacred to many, many spiritual traditions on this planet. Taking time every day to simply be still and know the divine right in you. And to commune with the God of your being, the God of your heart. And through meditation we gain not only mental discipline. How many of you have mental discipline? Some of us. You also gain clarity and you gain peace of mind. And you put yourself in such a beautiful state of being that you emanate that peace. It's a beautiful thing. I love this passage from the Tao. It says this: control the mind, attain one-pointedness, and then the harmony of the heavens will dwell in you. You will be radiant with life, and you will rest in the Tao. I love that reading. I also love it when science agrees, science and spirituality come together. And so I share with you this amazing study. They took a group of very practiced monks who practiced meditation every day, and they wired them up and looked at their brain, and they wanted to compare them. Their average age, there were 10 of them, was 49. And then they took a group of college students, average age 21. How old are you? 21! Perfect. The average age 21. And they wanted to see the difference, and they taught them to meditate. And they found that the more that you meditate, the more that you call forward into your experience this amazing state of mind in which you embody in every living cell this amazing sense of peace. And they were measurable. They could actually see it as light when they compared these monks, these Buddhist monks that have been doing this for their whole life, and then the college students, which did very well, but it was so, they had never measured so much of these, they're called gamma rays, in the brain. In the brain. Do we know what that is? We don't know what that is. Okay. The gamma rays. Sorry about that. We're going to have to figure out how to fix that. You don't know either. Okay. All right. So, it's called a wake-up call. A wake-up call. So they compared these two, and the results were absolutely astounding. They also have done studies with meditation. They send meditators into very intense, difficult situations. We ought to send some right now to parts of the world. And they all meditated, and they literally lowered the crime rate by simply being in that place of love and light, of literally going into the divine. So that was amazing. So all of that is about tool number one, meditation. If you don't have a meditative practice, I'm going to invite you to create one every day, every single day that you can, to create a practice for yourself of meditation. Okay, that's number one. The second spiritual tool I will share with you, the sacred tool, is visioning. And what does that mean anyway? It is when we catch God's vision for our lives. A lot of us think of maybe envisioning, we'll talk about that a little bit later, but a vision is when you go into the meditation, anchoring yourself in unconditional love, and you ask, what is God's greatest possibility for my life? You get maybe a different answer than when you ask, what do I want? Some people say, oh, I want to travel the world, I want to have, a big house, or they'll give you lots of things. But when you ask, what is God's vision? When you catch the vision, that's what visioning is. And for the very first time here, I'm going to be offering that class. It starts at the end of September. and it's going to be amazing. It's really learning to catch God's vision, to ask and find what is the greatest vision for you, for your life. And so what happens is that when we are in harmony with that vision, our lives are enriched. And because we have said so much about this already, the only other thing I will say is that if we don't have a vision for our lives, we need to get one. So you'll hear more about it as we go along visioning. The sacred tool number 3 is, of course, our teaching in Science of Mind is the spiritual mind treatment. What is that? Spiritual mind treatment is affirmative prayer. It is not pleading. It is not begging. It is not asking. It is not saying, oh, please, please, please. How many of you have done that? You buy a lotto ticket. Please, please, please. Please, I want to win. It's not pleading. It is knowing the truth anchored in the divine. It is knowing that that which you seek is already there. And it's a type of prayer that is very, very powerful. It's a very powerful prayer. It's going to be taught this fall in a class called Foundations. You're all invited to renew this understanding of that if you so choose. And our teacher is going to be the Almost Reverend Ken. He's going to be teaching Foundations. Some of you have already had. How many of you have had Foundations? Great. And if you haven't, I invite you to. It's a life-changing thing. Very important. The sacred tool number 4 is called, and you've all heard of this as well, and these are called affirmations. It's a statement of truth so firm that there is no opposite. So it is making a declarative statement about the truth of your being, and there is no opposite because you are knowing that. So we all know that affirmations are short, sweet, and personal. And they also are quick and effective ways for dealing with our lives. So do you have a couple of them that you can call upon when you go through a challenge? Here's an example. The instant that we think we can't do something or we can't make it, you can stop the mind and say, wait a minute, I can do this. The instant we get discouraged, anyone ever go through temporary amnesia? Forgetting who you are? In the middle of a circumstance. I do that sometimes if someone is expressing a lot of anger. Anyone ever experienced that? If someone's really angry with you, I kind of find myself in that place. So don't get mad at me. I notice that it's difficult for me to deal with that. So there are things that we can say to ourselves when we get into that place. And that's why affirmations, I love affirmations. I love them. They're very powerful. Psychologically, we literally groove our brains when we say an affirmation. There's a funny sign in Alaska. How many of you have been to Alaska? So this is what the sign says in Alaska. Pick your rut carefully. You'll be in it for the next 100 miles. So when we do an affirmation, we are creating a place in our brain. Can you imagine if there's so many negative thoughts in the world, right? And if you get into that rut, it could say, pick your rut carefully, you'll be in it for the next 100 years, right? So we want to shift that into things we do want. You simply turn your attention away from what you do not want, and you put it on what you do want. So the sacred tool number 4 is an affirmation. Sacred tool number 5. Who wants to guess what that might be? Anyone want to guess that? This is a kind of a new one.
Release.
Pardon?
Release.
Release? Oh, that's a good suggestion. That's not it, though. I like that one. Yes, Marie?
Gratitude.
That's also a good one. Those are more tools. It could be a 48-hour sermon if I talk about all of those. We're just doing the sacred stuff. That's good. Now this one, I'm going to give you 3 names that all describe it. One is imaging, one is visualizing, and the other is pre-paving. And all of these 3 mean that our brain, your brain, is a picture machine. If you want to bring something into your experience, imagine it. Imaging it or imagining has power. So if you want, whatever that is, your desire, heart's desire, image it every single day, every single morning in your spiritual practice. You can also, if you're going to go into a meeting or a situation that might be difficult. Pre-paving is that you see it having a divine result before you go into the meeting. Let's say your brother's coming to visit and he's always arguing with you, right? And you want a different experience. Then you simply imagine, you visualize, okay, my brother's coming tomorrow, and I'm gonna literally create this atmosphere of love. So when he visits, it's really pleasant, and you'd be surprised how powerful your thoughts are. They have energy and they have power. So you image that or pre-pave it. Mike Dooley said that, he said this, you've heard this before, thoughts are things, and he said it is unconscionable for someone who knows how the universe works not to spend daily time re-visualizing, re-energizing your dreams every single day. And we're going to have a group, preparing for this now in September, we're going to be creating a vision board where you will put pictures, because the universe being a picture machine, if I say big, delicious, juicy ice cream, big, juicy, delicious ice cream, you don't see the word. So let's just try this. Close your eyes. I want you to imagine or image a beautiful, big, juicy ice cream cone. Beautiful, delicious, diet ice cream cone. No calories. In God, no calories. So just imagine, image that with me. A beautiful, delicious. Hey, wait, I saw you at Dairy Queen.
Yeah, I know. Hence the diet.
Hence the diet. Okay, Dairy Queen. Beautiful, delicious ice cream. Dripping. It's a warm day, and there you are. You have to, enjoy it quickly. It's melting. So, okay, open your eyes. See? You have just envisioned that. Now you're all going to go get ice cream out here. That's the power of visualization. Very powerful. And if you can feel the emotion of it, if you can enjoy it at the same time, it literally will come into your experience very quickly. So there's pre-paving, there is envisioning, and there is visualizing, which is all very similar. Love that. So what might 6 be? 6 and 7 have to do with the givingness of our spiritual life. And the number 6 is called seva. Seva? It's a Sanskrit word. Who knows what it means? Anyone here knows what it means?
Being of service.
Being of service. So think about this community, and if you are able to be giving to this community with your loving service. Because the more that you show up and that you give, the more that you receive. It was an interesting thing I learned when I was in school many, many years ago, studying to be a minister, and they said the people who complain the most in the center, you're going to love this one, it's so funny. The people who complain the most in a center are the ones who give the least. Like, I'm not happy with this, and I'm not happy with that. Usually are the ones who don't spend time giving, because if you're involved in the givingness of your time and your energy, then you are there building it, right? You're building it. You're not, if we spend all our time looking for the blessings and adding to it, we don't have time to complain. Who wants to complain? The more that we complain, the more we are dissatisfied, the more we say, I don't like this, and 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 I don't like this. What are we creating? A place that we don't like, and we keep the original copy. When you find fault with anyone in your family, with anyone in your world, with anyone in your center, when you find fault, you are adding to the collective creation of that. So you might want to say, do I really want this? This is what I really want to create. So you want to always look for the good. You are literally pulling it forth. And you do that by loving service. So you may want to see where you could add, I would say many, many of us are. We have people that run the bookstore. We have people that run the table. We have people that set up. We have our musicians. We have volunteers in the office. We have our youth director. So we have a lot of places that we do that. So think about, perhaps if some of you are not of service, you might want to jump in and do something as you're adding. You could be a greeter. We're looking for greeters. All you have to do is smile. And welcome. Say welcome to our center. It's wonderful. All right, so the last one, the last sacred tool is to, and you'll probably be glad that I only have a minute left to share this one. Guess what it might be? What would be the last one of giving as part of your spiritual practice? That would be giving of your treasure. Giving of your treasure. It is a sacred tool of tithing. And aren't you glad I only had 1 minute to talk about this one? And so if that was your thought, you may want to work on that a little bit. So actually, if you said yes, you may want to perhaps take that into your meditation. So what it is you're giving, when you give to this center, you are giving to God's work. When you give to any of our centers around the world, someone was teasing me earlier, said, oh, maybe, I said, I have some good news. And they said, oh, did you win the lotto? Wouldn't that be great? Because I'm a tither. And so, if I won, $20 million, I get to give $2 million to the center. And here in Canada, I've heard that you get all of it. In the States, they take most of it, good part of it, 60% of it away. So is that true? Has anyone here ever win the lotto? There's no tax, right? And so let's all go buy a ticket. So I think, yeah. So, I love giving and I love tithing because it's my opportunity to express my good in what I've received and to literally complement and up-level the experience of doing God's work on this planet. And I want to share this little story. I love this. And I just got this note recently. There was a gentleman that wrote this out. He said, I'm a tither, but the past couple of days I began to fret because I needed over $500, he said, for extra expenses this month. Anyone ever have extra expenses? Once in a while? He said, you know how we get those thoughts? He said, well, I tithe on every cent that I get, and I should have enough money, but I don't. And so I began, my brain, said, this is not right, I'm a tither, why don't I have enough? And then he was going through a log. It was a log that he was writing down, a log that he had, and he forgot that he had made some sales. And he opened this log up, and there was actually cash in there for $595. And he said, God is good all the time because that he needed 500, and there was enough to tithe on the rest. And so he was delighted. So he said, all right, I get it now. You give 1/10. That means you keep 90% to God's work, to growing our center, to expanding our center, so that we can continue to evolve our planet by loving and evolving ourselves. It starts here. So, God is good all the time, and you really can take that to the bank. So the 7 tools, and I'm going to have Pat, will you come up and help me? She's going to share these. I would love for you to take these and put them on your fridge. These will remind you, because sometimes, believe it or not, we go unconscious. I recently had an experience with a friend who shared that with me. And if you want to take one for a friend, you can go ahead and pass them out. Put it on your fridge so that you can remind yourself when you start to go unconscious, wait a minute, I have 7 of the most powerful spiritual tools that I can apply. Put it in your bathroom, put it on your mirror, paste it to your head. You have 7 of the most powerful tools on this planet, not 700. I could make such a long sermon. I think about that, 48 hours. Go for it.
Test later.
So take this, take it home with you, put it on your fridge as a reminder to keep yourself conscious. So just like hammers and saws and chisels and all the things, the nail, the electric nail thing, I love that one, it's really interesting. All of those things, we need to build a house. That could be a lot of fun. You need the nail gun. So there you go, building a house. You want to build a consciousness with these very powerful, these 7 tools, and these will be available as a gift to you for the rest of the month. So you may want to take it and put it on your fridge. We're going to go ahead and anchor these now into our consciousness because they are our tools. Every week when I do my radio show, what I say is that we're the Center for Spiritual Living Kamloops, and we are here to teach spiritual tools that transform our personal lives and help make the world a better place. That's why I'm here. A world that works for everyone. To offer these tools and to live these tools, to practice them. So if we could even do one of these every day, we would change the DNA of our very being and the prototype of our planet, which is calling us so strongly right now. So let's anchor that in our prayer time right now. Thank you, Pat. Thank you, Reverend Pat. So would you please play our wings, and let's just close our eyes and just anchor these right into our DNA, right into our consciousness. So I take a moment right now simply to recognize in a very deep and powerful way. I recognize that there is only one power, one presence, one life. And that is the power and the presence and the life of the divine. And that power and that presence of the divine is right here, right now. Right here as me. It is the power that creates worlds and universe upon universe upon universe upon universe, forever expanding, faster than the speed of light. The entire cosmos is the body of the divine. Everywhere equally present, everywhere powerfully present, everywhere. In fact, there is not any spot where God is not. And so knowing that, one power, one presence, one life, I know that I am absolutely one with that presence, with that power. And as I am one of God, I know that everyone within the sound of my voice is also one of the divine. We all live and move and have our being inside the container that I call God. So I am that, you are that, we are that. And so in a deep place of realization, I now speak my word, that I now embody these 7 sacred tools. I choose to realize them on a daily basis. I put them into my memory bank so they are permanently installed in my hard drive of my computer of my life. And these tools are meditation. I take time daily to meditate. Visioning, to catch God's vision of my life, created and taught by Dr. Michael Beckwith, and sent out to all of our centers. This beautiful class coming up this fall. How to catch God's greatest possibility for my life, God's version of me, of my beauty, of my life, of my talent, of my success, God's vision. Installing in our DNA spiritual mind treatment, the most powerful tool, probably my favorite tool. I love this one. The 5 steps of spiritual mind treatment to realize and accept the great good of God in my life. Affirmation, statements of truth so firm there is no opposite. To affirm the positive. To look for the good and blessed. Visualizing or pre-paving or imaging using our brain, which is a giant image machine, to see and image the good that we desire, to see our dreams as an already accomplished fact. And to feel that, what would it be like if your dream was realized right now? You would feel what? Joy? Exhalation? Ecstatic? You'd be jumping up and down? Why not begin to feel that now, envisioning it as already here? And the last two tools, so important, being of loving service, giving of your time to a place that offers spiritual expansion. You're expanding the possibility into our greater community, being of loving service, seva. In fact, it's one of the most beautiful gifts we can give is our time. And also equally important that we give our treasure. We support the places that support the spirituality and expansion of this planet, which is calling for us every day a greater love, a greater peace, a greater life. More than enough for every single being on this planet, an evolved consciousness for planet Earth. So when we give of our prosperity, our money, we are giving to that which is expanding the consciousness of this entire Earth. And these are our 7 sacred tools now, embodied in us, reminding us that we have the wherewithal, we have the tools to create anything. In fact, there's not anything we cannot be, do, or have. We are divine beings on a divine journey, on a beautiful planet, here to create. And so I am in gratitude. I am so grateful for this center here in Kamloops, for this teaching of science of mind, for this planet, this beautiful place where we all live. We live in the most beautiful place, BC, with 100 lakes, I am told. I've only seen like 2, but I'm ready to explore the other 93. The most beautiful place. We live there with beautiful weather and beautiful people. I am in gratitude for that. I say thank you, Infinite Spirit, for that, for you, for this teaching, for life. Thank you. Thank you for these sacred 7 tools. Thank you I didn't do a sermon for 48 hours. And so I release this treatment into the law, knowing it is done, knowing it is already received. I am so, so grateful. I simply let go, and I let God. And we say together, and so it is. And we have a beautiful song here from our wonderful heartbeat.